Hello, welcome to the channel. Hello, welcome to the channel. Right, okay, never mind that. Right, just a quick channel update. I'm gonna go over a debate I had with a man, a man on Facebook. Now, I'll try and make this quick. We'll go over it and see what was said. And what I'm trying to do is I have improved my debating skills, as in online debating, right? So I'm not talking about debating as in live. I'm talking about online. I have been in the past. I have been quite abusive towards other people, and I'm trying to rein that in. Although I still have these tendencies, so I've got a bit more self-control going on. Now, what I've sort of decided, or come to the conclusion is, in order to, I was going to say win, but nobody really wins, but in order to come out ethically right, you need to keep it down to facts and no abuse. So I've been like in this discourse with this guy. I was writing abusive things and then not sending them, so I was removing them. I was going, oh wait a minute, let's take it back out. And basically, so the reason I'm doing this video is just to show what the conversation's about, and then you can get an idea as to where I am with current situation in our country, and in Great Britain, Scotland in particular, because that's where I live, is Scotland, right? So Alistair Marjorie for Dunblane and Bridge of Allen says, do you agree with how the Labour and Conservative councillors voted for this year's budget proposals? So what I'll do is, I think I'll just read out what was said and then try not to expand on it too much. It'll take too long, and you can get a feel for what I'm saying. So there's the proposals there. So they're removing swimming for primary 5, that's bad, right? Garden waste charges increase. They shouldn't be charging for garden waste, right? That's ridiculous. They shouldn't be doing that. Reductions in the library's budget. Bad, right? So, you'll get a feeling for what's going on. Because the reason all these things are being cut is because, I don't need to explain it. You'll see what I say when I'm talking to this guy. And at first I don't know exactly where this guy's coming from at first. I'm going to try not to make aspersions about him, right? He's got his opinions, or what he believes to be his opinions. Now this, try to get the right, that's not good, is it? Is it better like that? Probably better like that. Like I say, no, we need to end net zero. I say that quite a lot. Colossal waste of money, pushing lots of us deeper into poverty. And in brackets, staff bike lanes, wind farms, clean air zones. So James Walker, he says to me, it's not net zero, it's record profits companies are making off us. Right, so he's actually partially on the right tracks there with that, right? As I said, I'll try not to talk too much. I'll go on with it. So then I said, yes, and using net zero as a cover, and if you object, you are a climate denier. So if you object, say, about air source heat pump, wind farms, electric vehicles, then you're a climate denier, so there's aspersions could be made. So in my situation, I can get away with it, but say I worked for a company or something, I wouldn't be able to put my opinions out there. Or school, you can even, say you're picking your kids up from school, your teacher's teaching them this stuff, which they do that. Are you going to go up and challenge a teacher? You could land up being banned from the school or something. There's all sorts of things going to happen. So then James Walker comes back. How is it a cover? ? We know there's record profits, but people keep voting in parties that only care about the rich. Now, he's spot on with that, you see. So I'm reading this thinking, God, there's got to be a catch here. Because he seems to be agreeing with me, but there's something not right, you know. So it's interesting if you listen to this and watch this, there's something not right, but he is agreeing with me superficially, right? Well, not superficially, essentially he's saying the same as what I believe. Then I goes, net zero is a catch-all for stealing money from us. It's not a choice, we have to, because they say no. New cars, because they say so, sorry. New cars, new heating systems, 20 miles per hour speed zones, wind farms, clean air zones. If there's a vote, almost everyone votes against these things, but we don't get a choice. Right, so we're not getting a choice, right? I don't really need to explain that. We know that, right? So he comes back. 20 miles per hour, this is James. 20 miles per hour speed zones, wind farm. I should do a different accent for him, eh? But I think he's from Stirling. I can't even do a Stirling accent. A Ratblock accent. 20. I'll just stick to normal accent, right? 20 miles per hour speed zones, wind farms and clean air zones are bad? Question mark. Ha ha ha. It's progression, and Scotland already produces enough green energy to sustain ourselves, so it can be done if the rest of the UK followed our lead. Lucinda says to James, current Scottish Government policies are costing billions, trillions of pounds, and all its qualified technical staff are leaving Scotland. The super-subsidised green energy stupidity is a massive tax on the poor as well, leaving Scotland in a very weak position. James comes back. Scottish, Welsh and Northern Ireland governments are closer to being local councils than being actual governments. That was proven with Northern Ireland's not working for months. Westminster have bankrupted the whole of the UK, except London. Look at how many councils are bankrupt or on the verge of it throughout the whole of the UK. I say, Lucinda says, that wouldn't happen in Scotland because of the Barnett formula. However, the SNP government political deal with the Greens ensured vast fortunes are wasted on green projects instead of going to local councils. I mean, can you see where that's going, right? You know, that's what this is all about, this thing. Right? So then James goes, local councils are failing UK-wide. They lost EU funding after Brexit. Stop letting the Tories away with murder because you hate the SNPs. This is the first sign of emotion for this guy. So Lucinda says, Scotland doesn't need to be in that position. The SNP government is causing it by its support for green stupidity. So he's kind of given up there. He hasn't said anything from there on in. So I kept keeping it. He almost got abusive, but he kept it cool as well. It's pretty obvious that this guy, he's not. What he said about he's actually right in what he said up here, right? Record profit companies are making off us. So the problem he's got is that he believes in this SNP. So he's not including them, right, in that. He's not including them in that. So it's like this narrative, it's kind of like the English or, the Tories. And I don't believe that. I kind of feel that the whole lot of them are in this. So all the political people are working for the globalists. So when you get into these arguments with people, it has to be a kind of binary situation. Like, if you're arguing about electric cars, it means you love oil, you don't like electric cars. Or you love electric cars, you don't love them. And then what the idiots don't, and it's a sort of binary position that you have to take, and they don't realise that without oil, you can't make electric cars. It's just ridiculous. So, and they also don't realise that the oil companies have shares in charging points, and, the green... I'll do that thing, revolution or whatever it is, right? They have interest in it. They're in it because corporations are there to make money. So they're making money. So it's a stupid idea. So in this situation, he is not recognising that the people that are ripping him off and me are the Scottish government, the SNP. with the Greens, because they failed to get enough power in Scotland, so they had to go into coalition with the Greens, right? So that's what's wrong with James, in my opinion. My humble opinion is that I actually got the feeling he's going away checking the SNP handbook. You know, every time I fired someone at him, like 10 minutes later he'd come back. And I actually do believe that he's been away looking it up to answer it. You know, and he probably genuinely believes it. I don't think he's really... I don't really like Nats, right? Because they're so narrow-minded, right? I think the whole political system is broken, right? The whole fucking thing is, right? So I sort of pity people who have their little section of it, who follow it blindly. And in this case, this guy here is the SNP, right? So, and then we get down to this lady says, Ellen Hep, you're a breath of fresh air. Now, it's nice, you know, she has read all that, and I'm glad, Helen, that you believe that and you feel that way. That, because what I believe is what I've put in is some really useful information and answers, and I'm not going to slag that laddie off. Right, I had a look. He comes from Stirling or whatever. You know, he's probably, you know, a young guy, plays all that shit. He thinks they're gonna. What I said to other people the other day was, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but you don't know. Scotland's been sold down the river a long time ago. You know, all you got to do is, well, you can look at Ireland if you want. Look what's happening in Ireland. You know, you have to pay for your dentist, pay for the doctor. You know, is that really what you want? Because that's what would happen in Scotland. But if you want to carry on believing the SNP claptrap, you know, go ahead. It's crazy. I believe it's crazy. Alistair Marjorie, I mean, I don't really know that much about him, to be honest. You know, to me, getting into the political system, I don't really have a lot of faith in it anymore. You know, I don't know if I ever did. I think I did. I think I've lost faith in it. So it may be that I've got, say, liberal or conservative tendencies or beliefs or whatever it might be, you know, or socialist ideals. I don't think I'm a socialist. I'm probably like somewhere in the middle. But these parties do, so the Conservatives and the Labour and SNP, they do it for they do everything for political gain. You know, that's what they're doing, and they'll do anything. So they move around within that. You know, they'll do anything. You know, oh, here's some more people. Right, okay, we'll leave it at that. Right, so thanks for watching. Bye.